So, I don't understand why German cars are so complicated. Uh, I've been working on cars since I've been younger than I can remember, and the majority of that in my younger years was working on 80s and 90 model Ford. That's what my dad had, and so that's where my car education started. And went to car classes during school, did fairly well there, and kind of continued the Ford trend there for a little while. Then I got into some Subarus, which they're really interesting cars and not much more difficult to work on. The flat four is kind of annoying at times. But my first true experience with a German car is a buddy of mine that I worked with has a 5 Series BMW, 2006, I think. And everything is just so overcomplicated. It took us, I think, a week to replace the rear wheel bearings in it, which just seems a bit ridiculous to me. We ended up having to go get them pressed out and everything after we did everything else we could to get them out. But I don't know if you can see it. This is my 99 TDI. So far, I've had good luck. All I've had to do is replace the timing belt, and I didn't actually do that. I had somebody do it because of the complexity of it. Volkswagen has their own special set of tools you have to do the timing belt. And at the time, I didn't have the money to purchase the tools and the timing belt and do the job myself because I wanted to get it on the road. But other than that, and a recent issue I'm having of the injection pump leaking, which that in itself is not a big deal. It's a few O-rings and an hour worth of my time. But the problem is you have to have Volkswagen special computer software to do it, to get it back in spec. And this doesn't make much sense to me. Like I said, my experience with American and Japanese cars, they're fairly simple. They all have their quirks, but for the most part, especially anything 96 and up, or 95 and up, you can plug in the OBD2 port and get whatever information you need and usually work on it from there. But the same thing with this. My little OBD2 scanner doesn't even work. It doesn't even recognize the car. And that just seems a bit crazy to me. Why is it the Americans and the Japanese automakers can, all pretty much make a car that anyone can service? And don't get me wrong, it's not that I hate German cars, obviously. I have one. I love this car to death. It gets, incredible fuel mileage. Really, I haven't really had issues with it that's left me on the side of the road. And that's something that is a big deal to me. I have a family. I don't want them to be stuck on the side of the road with me. And I like to get where I'm going, as most people do. And, since I work on my vehicles, it's just aggravating why they have to almost make them unserviceable. Because, the computer software for this, the VDCS, I think it's called, is around $300. Granted, it's not that bad. This is the only German car I have. So it is a bit of an investment. If you're going to have the cars, before you buy a car, new or used, if you're going to work on it, think about what it's going to cost. That is something I considered with this car. I was hoping it would have been a little longer before I ran into a problem where I needed the software. But, it happens. It's a 99. It's got 128,000 miles on it, so it's going to have a few problems. But, still not as bad as some. I was watching a Scotty Kilmer video where he replaced a shock on a Mercedes, and it was $1,000. And you had to have, I don't remember how much it cost, but however many thousands of dollars of the computer equipment just to reprogram the shock to the car. That's a lot of money to, do something that on a Ranger I used to have would cost $30, if that. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's not that I hate German cars. I like mine. They make great cars. I just feel as though they're over-engineered for seemingly no reason. Reasons I don't understand. Because I've had American cars that have run just as long as German cars, and I've seen Japanese cars do the same. Not trying to play favorites, but it seems unnecessary. But like I said, I know I've seen models of these cars, the Mark IV TDI Jetta, go for 300,000-400,000 miles. I hope to get that out of this if I keep it that long. I have a horrible habit of buying a car, getting really excited, and then selling it. But that's off topic. Anyway, so why are German cars or European cars so expensive? It just doesn't really make sense to me. As of my experience with this car, so far I would probably buy another one if it was kept up well. But as for the BMW I worked on, I don't know. There was a lot of nitpicky work that seemed to have to be done. But again, taken care of, same situation. But like I said, I've had American cars do the same thing or Japanese cars for a lot less maintenance. But that's my view on it. That's my opinion on it. If anyone has anything to say, I'd love to hear it. I'm always open to any kind of discussion, especially about cars. But have a good day, have fun, and stay safe.